Hey everyone, and welcome. The most compassionate people I know are also the most boundaried. We often think of boundaries as walls that keep people out. But what if they're actually the gates that allow real connection in? Have you ever felt resentful or depleted in a relationship? This isn't about building fortresses around our hearts. It's about understanding that clear is kind and unclear is unkind. Today, we're diving into mastering boundaries to build stronger, more authentic relationships. By the end of this video, my hope is that you'll see boundaries not as a restriction but as a liberation, a pathway to deeper intimacy and greater self-respect. So if you're ready to transform your relationships, stick with me. This conversation might just change everything. Chapter 1. The Unspoken Map, Charting Your Course with Clear Communication. Imagine you're handed a complex IKEA flat pack, but the instructions are just a series of vague smudges. Frustrating, right? Navigating relationships without clear communication is a lot like that. We expect our partners, friends, and family to somehow know what we need or feel. That's an invisible contract leading to misunderstanding and resentment. Clear communication is the bedrock of any healthy relationship. It's about conveying meaning and intention with clarity and courage. Clear communication can feel vulnerable. We worry about hurting feelings or conflict. Often we choose silence or hints, hoping others will decode our signals. Choosing discomfort over resentment is courageous. It takes guts to say, "This is what I need," or "This isn't okay with me." Active listening is a powerful tool in clear communication. Listen with the intent to understand, not just to respond. When we actively listen, we create a space where the other person feels heard and valued. This makes it safer for them to hear us when it's our turn to speak. Expressing our own needs using I statements rather than you statements invites understanding. Clear communication allows us to check the stories we tell ourselves when communication breaks down. The foundation of this is recognizing that your needs and feelings are valid. Communicating our boundaries clearly and respectfully teaches people how to treat us. Clear communication isn't a one-time event, it's an ongoing practice. The goal is connection and understanding, not perfection. Lean into the discomfort and practice active listening with genuine curiosity. Start to articulate your needs using I statements, focusing on your feelings and what you require to feel safe and respected. By committing to clear communication, you're co-creating the map with the people you care about. It's about choosing courage over comfort and clarity over ambiguity because our connections are worth that effort. Chapter 2. The Sacred Garden Nurturing Individuality Through Personal Space. I love the analogy of personal space as a garden. Each of us has this internal landscape, this unique ecosystem of thoughts, feelings, hobbies, and dreams. Respecting personal space, both our own and others, isn't about distance. It's about honoring individuality within connection. Research shows that when individuals in a relationship have and respect each other's personal space, stress levels decrease, and mutual respect blossoms. We might feel insecure if our partner wants an evening alone, or we might overshare every detail of our lives. Personal space means physical, emotional, intellectual, and temporal space. When we fail to respect personal space, we send a message that the other person's individual needs aren't as important. Conversely, when we honor our partner's need for personal space, we communicate trust and security. Actively support your partner, friend, or family member in pursuing their individual hobbies and interests. This isn't about creating separate lives, it's about enriching the shared life by bringing whole, fulfilled individuals to the relationship. Communicating these needs is key. It's about saying, "I love spending time with you, and I also need some quiet time this evening to recharge." Think about the unspoken rules in your relationships regarding personal space. Are they healthy? Do they allow for both connection and autonomy? Respecting personal space is an act of profound love and trust. It says, "I love you for who you are, including the parts of you that are just for you." When we tend to our own gardens and honor the gardens of others, we create a landscape where relationships thrive, vibrant and full of life. Chapter 3. The Invisible Fences, Guarding Your Heart with Emotional Boundaries. Emotional boundaries are like the sturdy, well-maintained fences around that garden. They're not there to imprison you or to keep love out. They're there to protect your inner emotional world from harm. Setting and maintaining healthy emotional boundaries is fundamental to our mental health and well-being. Without them, we can easily become enmeshed with others, losing our sense of self. What does an emotional boundary look like in practice? It's saying no to taking on someone else's emotional labor when you don't have the capacity. It's recognizing that you are not responsible for fixing another person's feelings or problems. It's protecting yourself from chronic negativity, constant criticism, or emotional manipulation. Identifying your emotional limits is the first crucial step. This requires self-reflection and honesty. Once you've identified these limits, the next step is communicating them. This isn't about being harsh or accusatory. It's about stating your needs clearly and kindly. For instance, I care about you and I want to support you, but I don't have the emotional bandwidth to discuss this particular topic right now. We often fear that setting an emotional boundary will lead to conflict or rejection, but the truth is, people who respect you will respect your boundaries. Empathy is feeling with someone. Enmeshment is feeling for them to the point where you take on their emotions as your own. Healthy emotional boundaries allow us to be deeply empathetic without losing ourselves in the process. Practicing this takes time and consistent effort. These invisible fences are what keep your inner sanctuary safe, allowing you to engage with the world from a place of strength and compassion. Chapter 4. The unwavering anchor building trust through consistency. If clear communication is the map and boundaries are the fences, then consistency is the unwavering anchor in our relationships. It's the reliable presence, the predictable pattern of behavior that tells others, you can count on me. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, consistency in our relationships is a profound source of safety and security. When someone's behavior is erratic, it creates an environment of uncertainty and anxiety. This kind of inconsistency is incredibly taxing. It erodes trust at its very core. Consistency is a cornerstone of trust. When we are consistent in our kindness, respect, follow-through, and commitment to boundaries, we build a track record. This track record becomes the foundation upon which deep, resilient trust is built. Trust isn't just a feeling, it's a belief in the reliability and integrity of another person. Consistency means, if you say you're going to do something, you do it. If you make a commitment, you honor it. If you've communicated a boundary, you consistently uphold that boundary if it's tested. It also means being consistent in how you show up emotionally. Are you consistently present when you're with someone? One of the hardest parts of consistency, especially when setting new boundaries, is weathering the initial pushback or testing. When you change a dynamic by introducing a boundary, people might resist. This is where your consistency becomes crucial. Practicing consistency in our personal lives often translates into greater consistency in our relationships with others. Reflect on your own consistency. Because consistency isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become in your relationships. A trustworthy, reliable, and safe harbor for others, and for yourself. Chapter 5. The Essential Recharge. Why self-care is your relationship superpower. Self-care is not selfish, it is essential. It's not an indulgence, it's a discipline. Think of yourself as a rechargeable battery. You give energy to your work, family, and friends. Without recharging, you become depleted. Self-care helps you handle relationship challenges. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Take care of your needs first, to be there for others. Your well-being is the foundation for caring for others. So we've journeyed together through the landscape of boundaries. From the foundational importance of clear communication and respecting personal space, to the vital necessity of setting emotional limits, building trust through consistency, and nurturing ourselves with self-care. Each of these elements isn't just a technique, it's a practice of courage, a commitment to showing up authentically in our lives and in our relationships. Mastering boundaries isn't about perfection, it's about progress, about choosing again and again to honor ourselves and others. If this conversation resonated with you, if you found a piece of your story in these words, I'd be so grateful if you'd like this video. Share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe for more conversations about living and loving with whole hearts. And please, share in the comments below. What's one small step you're inspired to take towards healthier boundaries in your own life? Your insights and experiences enrich this community, and I truly believe we learn best when we learn together. Remember, the bravest thing we can do is to own our stories, speak our truth, and dare to set the boundaries that will allow us to live and love with our whole hearts. It's not always easy, but it is always worth it. As I often say, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves even when we risk disappointing others. Go out there and be brave.